In this short video, we are going to take the reference that we copied from the previous video, and we're going to make sure that it is transformed into what GMIT require for Harvard referencing. All different universities use the Harvard referencing system, but the way that they style those references is very varied. And for instance, GMIT would have a different style than NUIG, than WIT, etc. So it's really important as a student that you know what type of style that GMIT are using. So the easiest way to do this is to go onto the library, okay? We're going to pop on here and go onto Google Learning Online at GMIT.ie. So that's learning online at gmit.ie, and you're going to click onto that link as you have done previously and go right down to the end of that page, and under the student links here you can see the library. Click on the library link, and instead of looking at the search and select as we did earlier with the search and find, we are now going to look in this video at the supports that the GMIT library offer. Now, the one area I want you to look at is this Training Academic Writing Center. So just below Training Academic or Writing Center, click on that and it'll bring you to this page. There are two things that I want you to note on this page. As I've mentioned before, you can book a free one-to-one session with individuals within the academic writing staff that will give you one-to-one free tuition in relation to referencing. The other resources that I want you to have a look through are these ones here. But the one on top, referencing using the Harvard citation style, is literally the most important document that you need to read and use constantly when you are referencing anything for GMIT. Each and every assignment and report that you write, you should be pulling out this document and making sure that every reference is aligned with it. And what I mean by that, when you go down through the booklet, you can see here all the different types of material, like lecture notes and newspapers and Twitter feeds even, the likes of photographs, journal articles, ebooks. It shows you exactly the way that GMIT expect you to reference each and every one of them. And it is really important that you use this document. One little tip that I have is to use a tool known as the snip tool. So you can see this little snip tool here. If it doesn't come up on your sideboard here, just search snip tool and it'll pop up for you. Now, what the snip tool will do, it'll cut out any piece of this page that you want. And I know that we have looked up a journal article that was online, so I know that the reference needs to be exactly like this one here for GMIT. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to put it into the page, the Microsoft Word page that we've already looked at, and I'm going to pop it up here on the top of this list, and I'm going to literally expand it and blow it up the way that I can see exactly the way that we need to format this. Okay, so as I've mentioned before, there is two parts to a referencing system. You have the long reference, which should be part of the reference list at the back of your assignment, and you have the in-citation, which is the short little reference that is put into the text that you've written, and that is the author's name and the date. Now, when I look at this, the first thing we need to do is we need to change it to Times New Roman. We need to change it to 12 font, and we need to make sure that it is 1.5 meter spacing, because that in itself is standard practice for GMIT. Looking at this reference here, I note that Kearns, G. is in capital letters. So every single document that is produced for GMIT, the author's name should be in capital letters. So the easiest way to capitalize all these letters is to highlight them, right-hand click, go to the font section, and just use this all caps little tick the box and go OK. Straight away all those are capitalized. The next thing I notice here is that there is a dot and a comma after the last author's name. So dot, comma. Then we have the date or the year, and in this reference there is a comma, but in the GMIT reference it should be a dot. Then we have the title of the journal article, which is here, which is perfect there. After the title of the journal article, we know that there is a comma on this one here, but the GMIT one requires a dot. The journal article is the next thing that we're looking at here, and it's called plot 1. You're going to highlight that, and as you can see up here, the journal article should always be in italics. So you need to make it into italics. After that, because it is an online publication, you need to put the word online into your reference, and we get rid of that comma. Then we know after the online we put a full stop, or a dot as I've been calling them, and then we know that this 12 needs to be bolded, just like this, because this is the volume number of that journal article. Then we know that we delete the comma, and the issue number is number 9, and we're going to put that in brackets. We do keep the comma after that, and usually after that we have the page numbers. Now some different types of Harvard referencing, they use page numbers. So for instance, it would be this reference would be P.138 to 166, as you can see here. But with GMIT, the PPs are not used, so it is literally would be just like that. Okay, so the page numbers, the PPs are never present. It is only the numerical numbers of the pages that are used in GMIT referencing, and that is important to keep in mind. So for this article, I know by reading the article that there was pages 1 to 18 in that article. And once you have the page numbers, you leave another dot, and because it's an online version, we have to put available from, and this is the link, like Science Direct here. The link here is Medline EBSCO host, and after the different search engine, the EBSCO host that is hosting this journal article, we have to put that we have viewed it. So we get rid of that comma, we put brackets around viewed, 14th of November, similar to this here, and another bracket and a full stop. Now that is your reference, and that is what is put in the reference list at the back of your assignment. The other part of it, as I mentioned, is the incitation. And the incitation is found within the text. All the incitation is the author's name, which is Perez here, Perez Lach Od, and we never use the G. We only use the surnames within the incitation. So the G and the J are gone, and we also put the year of publication. So this is your incitation, which is the author's name and the year of publication. This should be placed within the text, while the reference, as I mentioned before, should be placed at the back of your assignment. I hope this was useful for you.